Kevin Smith, who's the Chief Marketing Officer for Rollins.
I started right out of college in sales, as many people do. It led me to a marketing role at company headquarters. I spent a couple years with the NFL. I ran into some folks back at Campbell's who said, I was talking to some other companies, they said, why don't you come back? And I didn't think you could do that, but I did. And that allowed me to build some real marketing skills in brand management. I had to catch up with all those who had an MBA, which I did not. And from there, I went to Marriott, spent a little time in the restaurant business, which was fascinating because I really learned a lot about advertising there because we were creating new campaigns every month. So that was a really important part of my career from an advertising perspective. And then Marriott decided they wanted to sell the restaurant business. So I did a brief stint with Courtyard and then went on to the Coca-Cola company. So I actually joined a startup and they worked in the online procurement space. Funded by KKR, kind of a joint venture with Deloitte. And I got connected to somebody and started to do that. And as a result, it went okay. We actually got our burn rate down, but KKR decided they wanted to sell the company and they sold it to a company based in Detroit. I did not want to move to Detroit. And during that time, I had been approached a couple times by a recruiter to say, hey, we've got a great job. They wouldn't tell me what it was. And they finally let me know it was in pest control. And I wasn't really very excited about that, to tell you the truth. It wasn't something that I had done. But since it had red in the logo, and he convinced me it wouldn't hurt if I knew some people from the Rollins family, because they know everyone in town. So even if you have you'd just be interested in meeting these people. So I did, and I thought I'd do it for a couple years till our youngest daughter finished high school, and lo and behold, I've been here 19 years. We're a global operator operating in more than 700 companies, operating brands and franchises. We're wholly owned in most of the US. We do have some US franchises, wholly owned in Australia, Singapore, and the United Kingdom. And pretty much franchised I should have said Canada. Forgot about Canada for a second. So then you've heard of Orkin, which is our largest brand. Most people have heard of Orkin, our largest brand. But we own a company called Home Team, which is big in the new construction business. We own a couple of wildlife companies, True Tech and Critter Control, which are adjacent to pest control, and although they sometimes crash. We own Northwest here in the southeast area, Western, Waltham. So a number of different companies, Clark out on the West Coast. So pretty big group of companies that part of my job is to provide guidance and direction to those brands. Learn the company you go to work for. Being willing to learn about your new company, how they make money. You need to do that every time, and that's a really important aspect of the business. So learn as much as you can. Don't worry about the objectives. Get your team right. I have a compound power, building relationships and collaboration. In many businesses, especially in a marketing role, you're often supporting an internal customer as well as trying to sell to an external customer or market to an external customer. In our business, we have 15,000 people out there, technicians every day that are delivering our brands to our customers. And if I don't understand their job, if I don't understand who the people they're working for, what a service manager does, what a branch manager does, what a region manager does, what a division president does, and have spent time riding around in a truck, in a branch, crawling under a house, looking for termites. Right. If I don't have that knowledge and haven't spent that time and haven't built a relationship with those folks, we're not going to be successful when we try to understand something that we think is important from a marketing perspective, and we want to try to get the entire organization to adopt that. So having those relationships in place, collaborating with those teams, and understanding what they're all about has been absolutely invaluable to me. How do we attract talent? It's a really tough market right now. I've lost some great people. I never thought I would train people for Amazon and Square, that side of the business. And I would say also as we try to navigate, how we're going to come back to a workspace if we do, how is that going to be different? What does that look like? So that's a really big challenge, because as leaders, we have to learn how to do something different. People often find inspiration from each other. What I found in that is people feed off of each other. These are play cards.
Yes.
So I did one for every individual, and on the back, it's kind of like a baseball card. It has a bunch of questions, where you're from, hometown, especially as we added new people, they could have the list of people to see what they were all about. You got to live your own value, live the values, get your team wrapped around a mission. Every day when our team gets up, they own delivery of a sales plan. So even though they are only partially responsible for it, every day they've got to make sure that their team is close to achieving that sales plan, because that's the only way they're going to meet their revenue plan. So the first thing is, all right, what do we need to accomplish? We have a series of things that make sense, but I'd start with that vision. The second thing I would start with is always believe there's a way to do something. So I think that really helped us during the pandemic. So instead of, I can't get this done, I can't talk to someone, and having all those excuses, believe there's a way. And so everyone just figured it out. And you really got to be proud of a team that can just go out and figure out another way to get something done when it's hard to meet or whatever that happens to be. The last one I will focus on is make the people around you better. And I want us to help each other.